welcome to the Gig Show. I'm your host, Jim Dorman, back with our co-host, Dan Cody, who we missed horribly last show. We got through it quite well with...
I'm back.
with Scotty Kippanan and Adriana Kunovich. Did a great job for us last show, but just wasn't the same without you, Dan.
Oh, thanks. Glad I could be here today. Sorry I couldn't be there last time, but I saw the show and it was great and you did a great job.
Thank you very much.
The whole crew, production staff, everybody did an awesome job.
Appreciate that. Yeah, but you know, it's just it's kind of tough going on your own here.
Right.
But you know, it was fun anyway. But we try to have a little bit, not too much fun at your expense. But how you feeling?
Correct. Doing great.
Back
feeling
100%.
Great. Back 100%. And
back
ready to go.
Back doing some music stuff.
Yep. Finishing up. I got 2 more songs to release. They're coming out in December. So for this new album, I did it a little bit differently. Instead of putting it all out at once, I've been putting each song out as its own single with its own artwork. So I got the final 2 coming in December, so that will be a total of 7 songs. So
7.
Have that out.
It's
and
a good chunk.
Yeah, it comes out good, but I just wanted to do something different.
Right.
And do a song at a time and try that for just see how it goes.
Yeah. Any overall theme to the what's the name? Is there a name of it, or have you decided yet? Or?
Yeah, the title is Around the Dial Part 1.
Okay.
You know, kind of a theme of think of the old radio dial.
Of course, yeah. Absolutely.
Turning through the dial, different styles of songs and music, different emotions. A lot of the songs are written during the pandemic, so they deal with specific emotions like joy, hope, anxiety. So loose concept, not a real story, but kind of on those themes of different emotions felt during the pandemic.
That's cool. Sounds very interesting. A lot of your songs are usually pretty positive and upbeat.
Yeah.
Are we getting dark and deep in there a little bit? Little James Taylor maybe? No?
Staying positive. You know, One Step from Manic, which is out, that was a heavier, deeper, kind of dark song. Right. But in the middle of that song, there's always the bridge kind of lifts up into the positive. So.
And who'd you work with on that?
I've been working with Joe Clapp at Ultrasound Productions in Hanover, and
great.
You know, we've got people on the record like Suzanne McNeil, Dave DeLuca, Dennis Barry.
Excellent.
Gary Ticini, a lot of great friends, great talent.
A lot of the Dan Cody family of music artists and behind the scenes people.
Correct.
That's awesome. Well, as you can see, we're dressed a little bit in our holiday Christmas finery, and as usual, Dan's outdone me with this little elf here. And the reason we're doing that is because today we're going to be we got quite a show going on. We're going to have the cast from A Christmas Story at Massasoit Theater Company. I want to say community theater, but it's kind of a community theater. It's kind of a combination of the people at Massasoit with the public and kind of nonprofit theater organization. So this is going to be pretty cool. We're going to have some people from an old favorite. I know a lot of people love the movie. I don't know how many people have seen it on stage, but I haven't seen it. I did interview a cast way back in 2007 at the Bay Colony Productions in Foxborough. But I think it's pretty similar. Is that something that resonates with you, Dan? A Christmas Story?
Oh, absolutely. I saw The Christmas Story in the theater when it came out. But
really?
Kind of giving away my age. I was young.
Hey, I got you beat there, buddy.
But I was with my stepmother and her sister, and the theater just was in tears, laughter, like you wouldn't believe. And instantly, I knew this was a classic.
Yeah,
and watch it every year, and watch it all day on Christmas Day on Turner Network.
Like multiple times?
TNT. Oh yeah, it just plays.
Have it on. You kind of just have it looping.
Plays in the background.
I've heard a few people say that. I didn't realize that. See, I was a little older. I think it came out in like '83, so I was like 22, and so I wasn't a kid. I think some of the ones that you were a kid, might resonate more. But on the same note though. There's so much to relate to. I got to say, given the time period, it's like, everything in it. We'll save it for when the cast gets out here. But I think there's something there. With the cranky old man,
right?
The siblings or the friends and the the bullies and especially wanting maybe something extra special for Christmas and trying to figure out how you're going to get that.
I think it's universal in those themes, even though it's set in a long time ago.
Yeah.
The things you just touched on, everybody knows that feeling of wanting a certain thing at Christmas, or dealing with bullies, siblings, and everything that comes with Christmas time. So that movie to me is kind of universal, despite the time period that it's in.
Right. Yeah, it's good stuff. I don't know if they had a Christmas show on Breaking Bad, but when I put this hat on today and kind of looked in the mirror, I kind of felt like...
I said that to myself.
Yeah, I was thinking I might look a little bit like Walter White. Do you think I might look like Walter White?
Look at the camera. Let's get a close-up.
Say my name. Come on, you know it. Say my name. I'm the cook. That's about as bad blank as I can get.
Very good.
Yeah, but that was a great show. I haven't watched that.
Yeah.
I watched it all twice. It's great.
Right.
But some of my favorite ones, again, you go in the 60s, they're holding up. I love the TV specials, but one movie that plays a lot is always A Christmas Carol. And I love the 1951 version with Alistair Sim, I believe his name is in, and especially the scene when after he's gone with all the ghosts, and he's a changed man. It gets to me every time. I always think I'm a bit of a humbug myself, but I've gone to see it, the movie and live versions I've seen. When he's changed, I find myself getting a little emotional. So maybe there's some hope for me. When he gets up and he's like, "What day is it?" And I always in my mind, it's like the kid. He's like, "Oh, it's Christmas Day."
Wow.
I haven't missed it. A delightful boy, a charming boy. I'm descending into Dr. Smith from but I love when the kid says, he says, "What's, the turkey at the poultry shop? What, the one as big as me?" That's what, I don't know. I just love that stuff. And he's happy, and he goes see Bob Cratchit, and Tiny Tim, and Tiny Tim gets better.
Yeah.
Everybody's happy. He goes to see his nephew.
And your acting skills are really improving.
Well, I knew the acting people were here, so it's actually I was just throwing it out there, in case maybe they want to do that.
You're
everybody
becoming,
could use a Scrooge. That might be a lot to take on.
That's right.
For a first timer, but that is good. Also Rudolph. I mean, you just can't really. I don't know. I mean, I loved it. It came out like 1964, I think, and. I loved it then, I mean, I think I saw it probably the first time it was on, as a little kid. We used to have like parties at college. We were one of the few people that had a TV. I remember everybody, and we had a little tree, everybody came to our room to watch Rudolph. The Grinch, there's a million other ones. But,
and the producer just passed, one of the producers
of
Rudolph.
Of Rudolph.
Yeah.
Well, funny you should mention that, because I was wondering about that. I guess it was like a Canadian. Like besides Burl Ives, everybody else was like these Canadian actors, and they didn't know how good this thing was going to be. And there's a couple of favorite ones. One is the Charlie in the Box.
Yep. Charlie in the Box. Island of Misfit Toys.
Island of Misfit Toys. Who wants a train with square wheels? Nobody wants a Charlie in the Box. I love that guy, and of course the dentist, and all that stuff. So anyway, Alfie Scoop was the Charlie in the Box. And I think he died in 2021. It's either him or the gentleman that played the dentist there, Hermie. He was 101 years old.
Nice.
Yeah, so most of them are gone.
Yeah.
A lot of great memories, A
lot of great classics. Christmas Carol, Christmas Vacation.
Christmas Vacation.
There's a list of these movies that
right.
You can't go wrong. But I think it's great that we are doing the Christmas story.
And it's a lot of memories. So we're going to talk to. We get some great cast members. We get the director, Jim Sullivan. And he's been involved. I think we'll talk a little bit about his vast experience. But he's probably done this show before. I think we got George Kippenhan is going to play the father. We got Erin Thomas coming; she's the mother, and
great.
Nicholas Kubek is playing Ralphie. So those are our guests today.
Excellent.
Do you remember? Those are a lot of great shows back in the day. they had a lot of variety shows back then.
Right.
Remember the variety shows? Remember like Glenn Campbell, whatever, Johnny Cash.
Good Time Hour.
Good Time Hour. You remember. So in the spirit of variety shows, I think, we probably should be playing a Christmas song, but we didn't have one ready. So,
all right. So we're going to do a Bob Dylan song for all of you Christmas fans, just to be different.
Yeah. What are we doing?
You Ain't Going Nowhere
By Bob Dylan. So let's break for Dan and I playing You Ain't Going Nowhere, and then we'll be right back with the cast of A Christmas Story from Massasoit Theater Company.
So swift, the rain won't lift. The gates are closed and the railings froze. Get your mind off the wintertime, 'cause you ain't going nowhere. Ooh, ride me high. Tomorrow's the day my bride's gonna come. Oh, we gonna fly down in the easy chair.
I don't care how many letters they sent. Morning came and morning went. Back up your money and pick up your tent, 'cause you ain't going nowhere.
Ooh, ride me high. Tomorrow's the day my bride's gonna come. Oh, we gonna fly down in the easy chair. Buy me a flute and a gun that shoots, tailgates and a substitutes. Strap yourself to a tree with roots, 'cause you ain't going nowhere. Ooh, ride me high. Tomorrow's the day my bride's gonna come. Oh, we gonna fly down in the easy chair.
Genghis Khan, he could not keep all his soldiers supplied with sleep. We'll climb that mountain there when we get up to it.
Ooh, ride me high. Tomorrow's the day my bride's gonna come. Oh, we gonna fly down in the easy chair. Let's do one more time. Ooh, ride me high. Tomorrow's the day my bride's gonna come. Oh, we gonna fly down in the easy chair.
And we're back. Hopefully you enjoyed that musical selection from Dan and I. And if you did, send us a note. Maybe we'll have some more out there. This is my first time out. Well, we won't talk about that anymore. But because we got some great guests here from the Massasoit Theater Company, the cast of A Christmas Story. The Massasoit Theater Company is presenting this holiday favorite. It's based on the humorous writings of author Gene Shepard. This beloved holiday play follows the wintry exploits of youngster Ralphie Parker, who spends most of his time dodging a bully and dreaming of his ideal Christmas gift. Do you remember that? Christmas?
Absolutely.
Do you know it? Can you name it?
The Red Rider.
The Red Rider air rifle.
Yeah, Red Rider air rifle.
With the thing on the stock and the clock and thing, all that good stuff. Hopefully they know exactly. I got it written down. Red Rider carbine action 200-shot range model air rifle with a compass
in the stock
and this thing that tells time, which I'm sure if we asked Nick. He might know. He might be off book on that. Anyway, we're delighted to have the four guests from the Massasoit Theater Company. We have The director of the show, Jim Sullivan, has been involved in theater and theater education, working with professional as well as nonprofit theater and artists of all ages for 25 years now. Enjoyed many of his shows that he's either acted in or directed, been involved in. And he even directed Abington Heights drama Lockdown right on this very building recently, a couple of years ago, I guess. And has a long-time association with our drama club director, Steve Shannon.
Yep.
So very welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yep. And we have, we'll go from left to right, I guess, here, Erin Thomas Lopatowski.
You said it right.
Oh, thank you. I told her Erin Thomas is a good marquee name, but she's added that with her married name.
I love him so much, I hyphenated my last name. You're welcome.
What a guy, what a guy. She's from Easton's, a veteran of the stage, having appeared or worked on many shows, including The Wedding Singer, it's true,
Yes.
and Foxborough's Orpheum Theater. And she's recreating her role as Mother from Massasoit's 2018 production. Joining, we're going to go to the other side of the couch, father, old man.
The old man.
George Kippenhan, who wanted to be on the show. His son was on last time, Scotty and Scotty Kippenhan with Adriana Kunovich.
Yeah.
Had such a good time that George thought, he wanted to get on.
I want to ride his coattails. Kid.
Absolutely. And last but not least, well, actually, I didn't really say that George is a long-time actor. I remember seeing him way back when, the first time in a Bye Bye Birdie production, New World Theater Company, which
directed by Jim Sullivan.
Also directed, which
right.
was probably around
2002, 20 years
2002,
actually.
so 20 years
Wow.
ago.
Okay.
Wow. Incredible stuff. And you guys did a bunch of great work together with a lot of other great actors and actresses, people that we've seen over the years. So, but again, last but not least, I'm talking too much. We'll get to you guys. I swear. Nick Kubek. Kubek? Or do you like Kubek? Or Kubek. Well, we'll play young Ralphie Parker in this production. 13 years old. Yeah. Lives in Raynham. Also a student at the Cappuccioni School of Performing Arts, which our, again, previous guests were from, and even our previous guest, Morgan McNeil Berry, was a guest. So that school is really producing some fine talent from East Bridgewater, where Jim is also from. Previous roles include Kaneki. Did I say that right? Kaneki. That didn't sound right. Kaneki in Grease, and Zeke in High School Musical. Both with Cappuccioni, right?
Yep.
Right. Oh, so another theater veteran.
That's awesome.
I think I got through all that introduction stuff. So I'm just going to turn it over to you guys. What is it about Christmas Story that resonates with people? Why do you think it just endures? We'll go to you, Jim, on that one.
Sure. When I saw that this was an available opportunity, I first saw the movie when I was Nick's age or so back in the 80s and loved it, really connected with the character of Ralphie. And now looking at it later through different eyes, sort of more connecting with adult Ralphie. And I think it's nostalgic because people know the movie, but also it's that looking back. It's the comedy, but it's also the nostalgia of looking back on former holidays. And so what we're doing with this production is rather than having adult Ralph be this sort of off to the side omniscient narrator, we're bringing him in on stage and giving him the dramatic arc of rediscovering all these moments in his life and letting him have some discovery there and seeing it through new eyes. And I think that's what we want to invite people to do with this production, is see something that they know pretty well, but see it through new eyes. Enjoy the laughter and the comedy because it's full of it, but also come for that nostalgia and the classic story of Ralphie getting the BB gun.
And maybe we'll go to George on this one. If there is anyone who has never seen this, do you think you might be able to sum up, give us a little bit of like, what's this all about?
Well, it's about a little boy who, in the 1940s, I believe, comes from a typical Midwest home, two loving parents, one doting, one kind of, off his chain a little bit. But
What would that be? Typecast?
And it's about their son who finds that one Christmas gift that we all wanted when we were a kid, and goes through every length through Santa Claus, every channel he has, his mom, his teacher, to try to get this one gift that he just craves. And you cross your fingers for him until the end. And he has adventures with his friends from school. You can see the dynamic of his parents. It's just it's such a fun, feel-good, emotional, funny journey that the audience gets to enjoy through the eyes of Jim's wonderful direction. The narration is such a huge piece of this. So when you see the narrator, the adult Ralph, and Nick as Ralphie on stage together, you're watching the same person, and it's so cool. It's so cool.
Wow, that is neat.
Yeah.
Jim, how did you come up with that kind of presentation? Was that just an idea, or when you took it on?
Well, it just occurred to me as I was rereading the script that, I knew it as a younger person. And now I'm older. I'm a dad now, and I've been through most of my life.
Right.
So I am looking at this story differently, so that for me it really isn't, and for our version, it isn't so much that he, and this is a spoiler, but people know the movie, it isn't so much he gets the BB gun, it's his dad gives it to him. So adult Ralphie has these connections this time. It's that the mom, does some stuff to watch out for him, and he has this moment of seeing her differently. And the girl in his class, he has a moment where he sees her differently. And so for me, it was just having that realization that this is a different story for me now because I'm an adult.
That's a great idea. I never thought that usually adaptations are just kind of follow the same way they've been done for years. That's great idea.
And we know enough about the movie to make sure we hit the spots that everyone wants to see.
Right.
The triple dog dare, the tongue on the pole, the fragile, and
Correct.
and
You'll shoot your eye
you'll
out.
shoot your eye out. We hit those spots, but we add a little bit more. There's a little bit more, and this kid is if he was meant to play Ralphie, he's an incredible actor.
That's
And he's
phenomenal.
13 years old.
Yeah, we're so fortunate with the young people in our cast. I mean, they're working actors. They come in, and I would largely credit it to the Cappuccini School because most of them are students there. They're backstage. They're looking through their scripts. They're running their lines. They're watching the action on stage and coming in prepared. They're really
amazing.
talented. They're really the stars of the show. Is the kids. They're just great.
Was it hard to cast the young characters?
With the people that came into the room, we knew we had the cast. I mean, Nick was obvious. Like, he came in and an excellent audition, and we just knew right away we're going to build the cast around this kid. Yeah.
Well,
and they came.
Let's hear from him. Nick, do you identify with the character? You relate to the character at all?
Yeah, I think that he like a lot of times he'll I don't know, he looks up to someone but he doesn't tell them. I feel like that happens with like a lot of kids my age and stuff. I don't know. I think I'm a lot like Ralphie Parker in many ways, and about how like he never gives up with his BB gun and stuff like that.
So it kind of internalizes things he's thinking about. Did you ever have any kind of thing like a BB gun that you wanted, or
No. I've
no?
never had-
You don't know? Anybody else?
How about a special Christmas gift?
The great thing when we did the first table read is Jim asked us to each go around the table and talk about a favorite Christmas memory and of the toy or a memory, because he was shooting it from, or directing it I should say, from adult Ralph's point of view. And so we got to experience it as an adult. I remember, my child, I got a Slinky on Christmas Eve, and it was the worst. And but I just wanted an AT-AT from Star Wars, and Santa was going to bring that to me.
Right.
So hopefully.
And it was nice at that first rehearsal too, because the cast has more children than adults in it, so we are outnumbered. But for each one of us to share that story of our favorite part of a holiday, whether it was a gift, a tradition, or a memory, Jim gave us that ability to instantly connect with each person in the cast somehow. Some of these kids, we had seen at auditions and whatnot, but to have that moment where you can see that spark in their eye because of something that a family member, a parent, Santa gave to them or did for them was really, really special. And it did change the mindset, I know for me personally, of how I was going to go into the show and the way that I looked at the character. Everything was very different just from that one get to know you kind of question. So thank you for that, Jim.
Great. Nick, how did you get into acting? What get you started?
Oh, sorry.
It's all right.
When I was around I'd say 7 years old, I went to see a show of what was it called? It was the one where they put the pea under the bed and she
Princess
goes.
and the Pea?
Yeah, I saw a show of that, and then I was amazed. I thought it was so cool. So I went to this summer camp. It wasn't an acting summer camp or anything. It was, Arts for Youth. You might have heard of it. And I took an acting class there, and I really liked it. And then I wanted to do it during the school year. So we found Capuchoni's, and I don't know, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
I started really getting into it. Yeah.
That's good that you had that experience and kind of built on it. So what about the relationship with the mother? What is it, a special relationship between Ralphie and the mother?
I think that it definitely is. I think that she has a special relationship with everyone in her family, but the audience doesn't really see it until towards the end, because if you're a 1940s housewife, that's your job. You get up, you get them out the door, you make sure they are dressed, dinner is ready. No matter what you cook, they have to eat it, and you're just sort of this, for lack of a better term, a machine in your house that most people, especially your husband, doesn't realize that you get everything done. You're the reason why everything is working. So when you get to certain scenes in the show, there's a scene where Ralphie and I have some dialogue together, and we do have that moment where he sees that I had his back for him. I covered for him with something, and I did it because he's my son and I love him, and I know that it's okay. It's little things like that you take for granted, especially as an adult. And you remember later on. So it's very sweet. He's the best. He's the best stage son I've ever had. I can honestly say that. He really is. It's just so natural to be on stage with my little stage family because we just trust each other and can emotionally connect in an easier way than I know I'm speaking for myself. I don't know about you guys, but it's just been easier to connect with them emotionally and feel like a family and not just force it.
Are you actually nice to Scott Farkas?
Am I actually nice to Scott Farkas? I mean, I only grace him with my presence once on stage, really.
I mean, behind the scenes, because I figure you're probably mothering the whole cast of young
I do the best that I can. He's a very polite young man.
Is he nice?
Yes, he is. As tough as he looks, guys.
He's an excellent actor, Danny McPhee.
Danny McPhee.
Everyone is so talented. So the fact that he plays this bully and backstage, he's like, "How was your day?" It was great. Thank you for asking. How was your day, Danny?
Good.
What's your favorite subject in school? Okay.
So he just transitions right
He does. They each transform. It's just, it's awesome. It's been a wonderful experience. I can't wait for the rest of rehearsals, and I can't wait for the show to open because, George and I did this show back in 2018, and with the exception of 2 of the kids that are in the cast, everyone else is new. So to be in 2 of the same productions and to have it be directed differently with each one has been an amazing experience. Oh, it's phenomenal. Grateful for the first opportunity we had to do it, and even more grateful for this second opportunity. So,
tell Erin what she says to you every time you walk in.
How was math today?
How was math today?
It's math today.
I've made every kid.
Found out their favorite
If
subject.
Molly is watching this, hope ESL is going well. Kyle, hope Jim is going well. It's important to know their favorite subject because I want to know. And this kid loves math. Good. I'm terrible at it, so I am so pumped that he loves it.
That's great.
And he did really well on his last math test. So
We check in.
we do check in. I mean, easy peasy. He just has to write that letter about his BB gun, and then he'll get to helping it with math. So.
But your character's the first one, I think, to say you're going to shoot your eye out or something. Right?
Yes. Yep.
Which is kind of dismissive.
You know, yeah. It doesn't even pay attention. You're going to shoot your eye out. I believe I utter those words quite a few more times on the show, too. So it's things that I remember with my, asking my mom or dad for when I was younger. I want this. Well, it's a waste of money. You're just going to break it. And, okay, did I still eventually get the toy? I did in one way or another, whether it was a present from Santa or a present from mom or dad. So it's funny as an adult now to be reciting that sort of classic line and knowing what's behind it and then seeing what happens at the end. So
yeah, and you mentioned like it being kind of a throwaway thing when she says it at first, but you have that perspective of seeing just, oh yeah, you'll shoot your eye out, but it's devastating enough for him to set the whole ball of in motion for the rest of the show. It's that contrast that I'm looking at.
Nick, what do you do when she says that? You're going to shoot your eye.
I get really sad.
I get really sad.
All the feelings, you guys.
He has the best facial expressions of any young actor I've seen.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's so hard to keep yourself together as an adult performer watching his facial expressions because they are so pure, so expressive, so responsive. It is unreal.
It's the hardest part of being an actor is, being cognizant of, all right, there's a narrator talking about my thoughts, and then Jim has taught all of us he's reacting to them, to his inner, his older version of himself, he's brilliant. He is brilliant.
Yeah. And we have a lot of fun because, the show is just so ridiculously funny in some moments that there are times that, if someone was out and I was reading their lives, I can't even talk. When George gets all worked up and then there's a big dramatic fantasy scene that really gets me every time. It's so funny that and because we get along so well, we have that sort of family element. We can just let loose and really get crazy. There's some crazy moments in the show. And it's
My favorite is the slide. Do we have a slide?
Oh yeah, we have a slide. Nathan Fogg is the set designer. He did an amazing job the first time, and he's basically taking that and sort of revising it a smidge and polishing it up. It's great. It's great. Yeah, there'll be a slide.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite. Moments. Yeah.
We were talking earlier about Christmas Story, and Jim was asking, how familiar I was with the movie. Like you, I saw it when it came out. I was probably, same age as you. And then on TNT during Christmas Day, 24 hours, I told him it's on TV for a good 12 hours, just solid. And you just keep watching it, keep laughing. It's pretty amazing. How many times do you think you've seen it?
Honestly, I've only seen it probably 4 times. Which is a lot of times to see a movie. But I know the people who every year they have the tradition. They turn it on, they watch it.
Yeah,
it's got a fresher perspective, I think.
Yeah.
Things,
How about you guys?
It's a top 5 movie of all time for me. One of my all-time favorite movies. So I hundreds of times.
Tell
you,
us
Nick.
about Randy. I'm sorry.
What's that?
Sorry, how many times have you seen it?
Go ahead.
Probably too many. I don't know. It's a great movie.
So I am in the minority. Up until the first time George and I did the show, I had only seen it maybe once here and there. And when I did, I was not a fan of it. And then I was in the play and being introduced to it like from start to finish as an adult was just very different. And I think that was sort of a blessing for me, not only going into the role, but when I was able to watch it from start to finish the first time that we did it, I was like, now I can see what the big deal is for a lot of people with this movie. So since then, I've seen it like 2 times. But
I think because of when I was a little older when it came out, and I didn't have the youth. It wasn't, it wasn't as much of a perennial thing for me. And I was going to ask about Randy because the character in the movie, then it gets all wrapped up. I think there's a bit of overacting going on.
He is awesome. Ian Law.
Cappuccino student.
And another Cappuccino
perhaps he can
student.
improve.
He's 6 years old too.
Yeah.
He's
6.
great.
All right.
He is
Great timing.
wonderful. Yeah, his comedic timing, his energy. When he is in the scene, he knows what he needs to do, and he does it, and there's no question about it. He's ready to go. Again, much like Nick, his reactions and his performance are so fabulous that as adults, George and I are like, keep it together. You're the mom and the dad right now. Get off stage and then you can talk about how great he's doing and react, because he's just wonderful. And he has all of the kids in the show have the most amazing support systems at home too. Their parents that come and drop them off and pick them up. And where Ian is younger, his parents do stay at rehearsal with him as well. But he's just
the little boy who plays Flick, Kyle Kashgagan. He's one of the few actors around here that I would pay money to watch on stage. He is a comedic genius, and he's 13.
yeah.
He is so funny.
Humble.
He's so humble. He's so happy. He's just, and you're buds with him. It's really cool. He's just the talents of these children. Like, we can't understate how wonderful they all are to work with.
And is he the flagpole?
Yeah, he sticks his tongue to the pole.
He's
He is the
flagpole
flagpole
kid.
kid.
Yeah.
The triple dog.
So that is got to be, he's got to be good that way.
Oh, and he was one of the few that
Executing
carried over.
that.
Yeah.
Right.
He that his first show was A Christmas Story 4 years ago.
Oh, all right.
And he came in and he was raw and he was so excited and he was pumped. Then after that, he went to Cappuccini and was in classes with Nick, and they're still in the same class, I think. Yeah. And the chemistry is just, you can't create chemistry. You have to have it.
Right.
Right.
And they have it.
Well, speaking of that, where do you find the bad Santa?
Oh, so that's kind of a secret.
It's a mystery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we have found kind of an over-the-top actor who's stepping in and doing the voice of Santa.
Yep.
Just the voice?
Just the voice. You never actually see Santa.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's
So,
a difference there. Okay.
You can create Santa's image based off of his voice, so he could really be whoever you want him to be.
Yeah. It's George. I think it's me. I thought it was gonna be you. But I saw George. If you need anybody, I might be available. I thought maybe the original Bad Santa. I don't know. I'll have to go research that, I think, and see it. But it probably goes back. But the original actors in the movie were pretty cool. Everybody likes.
Yeah, it's written a little different on the stage.
Yeah.
But it's definitely an important part, and it adds a little bit more to the story with the girls who are in line with.
We get a little love interest, I think. Is this true?
Yes, there is. Yeah.
Wow.
I'll let Nick speak to that.
Yeah. How's that? Chemistry?
Well, I mean, I do get all the girls. So I mean,
The red hair. It's the red
It's the gingers. We're rocking it.
Yeah.
Typecasting. All right. So, it sounds like pretty. It sounds great. I really even more excited than before. I think this is gonna be awesome. Sounds like a great production. You guys got it all together. So let's see. I don't know if I didn't give all. Did I give the particulars? It's 5 shows, December 3rd through the 11th at the Buckley Performing Arts Center on the Brockton campus of Massasoit Community College on Massasoit Boulevard in Brockton. So the first performance is on Saturday, December 3rd. Correct me if I'm wrong. Box office number is 508-427-1234. But if you go out to the website, you get your tickets on Ovation Tix, which works great. So do that at massasoit.edu. That's for education.
Yes.
Okay.
Very good.
Delighted to have you guys on the show. Right? Pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff.
Question for
go
it'd
ahead.
be fun to Jim. How did you take like you talked earlier, mentioned all the high points of the movie, but how do you take a movie and put it into a play? How do you know what to put in and what to leave out?
It's tricky because theater and film are so different. Film is so literal and so close up. So we talk about that in rehearsals a little bit, about making the acting a little bit more presentational, a little bit more energized to sort of fill out into the room so that it touches the people in the audience. You have to have it be a little bit more dynamic. And that's what sort of helps having this little nostalgic part added to it with Ricky DeSisto, who's playing adult Ralph, and Nick. Their connection is so wonderful. And by taking Ricky, and putting him right into the living room, the audience is sort of invited right into the living room too. So
great.
we're kind of trying to tug at the heartstrings as well as have all that laughter.
Yeah. That's great.
it's going to be a great holiday treat for everybody.
Yeah, it's going to be excellent. Sounds so good.
Well, hopefully people come and feel like they're right in your living room at the Buckley Performing Arts Center. So get out and get a ticket. Go see Your Christmas Story. It sounds like it's going to be a great production. So thanks for coming and being on the watching the gig show again. So we hope you'll join us again on our next show. Who knows what it might be or who we might have on, but we're sure it's going to be great. So thanks again to our guests. Break legs. Break legs. Don't break the
The leg lamp.
we can't
don't break the leg lamp.
Nobody serves.